Hey everyone, welcome back to another video from Handyman University. Today we got ourselves a rainy day and it is also estimate day. So I figured why not make a video kind of giving you some tips how to land more jobs when doing your in-person estimates. So these are kind of 5 things, 5 tips, 5 ways to carry yourself during an estimate that is going to lead to a higher conversion rate of those estimates once sent actually getting accepted. So the first one here is just dressing well. Nobody wants a bum in their house. Get a haircut. Keep your haircut. Now, I know once you get really busy, it can be hard to do. Get to this hair salon or whatever, barber, get your haircut. Um, but it's definitely important, and I'm on the verge of needing one myself, and it just looks good. First impressions mean a lot, and people want someone that looks like they're clean. Um, don't like take a shower, like all common sense stuff, right? But you'd be surprised the amount of people I've seen that don't do this, and know some of them personally, family members that have not done this. So I just definitely dress clean. um you don't have to be in the nicest clothes. You don't want to show up in a suit and tie. That's going to look a little weird. You're a handyman, right? But also don't dress like a bum. Wear the work boots, I mean pants. I have a nice polo that I put on for estimates, and a lot of times if my pants are really kind of, we do a lot of painting, so if there's a lot of paint and stuff on them, I like to change my pants as well to a nice clean pair, depending on the estimate. And now might get some pushback. Some people say, well, hey, I hired a handyman, it looks like you don't work. That's what some other handyman might say. Problem is, it's all about your market. My market is a higher end area. A lot of very well off individuals, and they're very image oriented here, and so it goes a long ways. And I found that when I do that, I land way more jobs. So that's the first tip. Second tip, I got a little cheat sheet here. Second tip is don't just talk about the project. So contrary to what you might believe, is you should only be talking about the project, kind of the scope of the work. Here's what we're gonna do. We could do this for you. Blah blah blah. Just connect with the customer, right? If you see like a sports team over here, maybe it's your sports team, or you realize that, hey, they like football, or you're into football, something like that. Just kind of don't completely steer the conversation 100% away from the job. Obviously, talk about the project, get all your stuff down, but also try to get to know them a little bit during the process. This is just gonna build a connection. After all, these people are inviting you into their house, and you're a complete stranger. You got to connect on some level to build that trust, that rapport right off the bat, to make them feel comfortable. They want someone that's going to be, they want to feel comfortable with you working in their house, right? So don't be creepy about this either. This is like a fine line to walk. Like, don't be creepy. Don't be poking around their house like, oh wow, that's beautiful, or that or that. Like there's a limit to it. Like, don't look creepy like you're scoping out their house, like you're, yeah, just walk the line there, and it's pretty common sense. Number three is be honest about your capabilities. So a lot of times the money can get to your head, right? People are talking about, oh, I want this. You're like, oh well, I think I could do that job, or hey, I know a guy I could sub that out to, maybe, blah blah blah. So you're just thinking in your head, oh yeah, I want this job. But maybe you've done it once, or you think you have the capabilities, but you really don't. Be honest with the people. Tell them what you can really do. If it's a job you don't do, tell them you don't do it. Um, yeah, they might be disappointed, but that's fine. The disappointment right now is far less than if you try to take on the job, botch it. They lose a lot of money. Now they're coming after you. It's just, don't do it, okay? Another common sense thing, but you'd be surprised, it happens a lot. I've actually done it a few times when I first started out. Now we just have our like 6, 7 niche services. We don't very often go out of those boundaries, and so we know we're covered no matter what each and every time. So that's another one. Another one is number 4 is under promise, over deliver, which is easy to say. So what does this look like? So under promise is just be realistic with the customers. Tell them, hey, so say they want like some paint touch ups. Say, hey, these touch ups might not completely match. It's been sun faded, right? But bid in maybe just doing the entire wall, right? Something like that, where they think, just add a little bit of extra value. Like, for example, the job we're on right now, we're replacing a bunch of cedar siding, and touching it up to match, right? Well, the house paint job's a few years old, probably like 5 or 6 actually. And so it's really not matching 100%, and it's like ready, it's peeling everywhere, right? So if you go put paint over, they want us to hit all the bare spots too, right? You do that, it's going to look like crap. So in my I planned on scraping the entire board and painting the entire board. Lady came out the other day, was extremely happy, couldn't believe I was doing all that extra work. And to her, it's extra work because I was just going to do touch ups. I bid for it in the thing, planned on doing it. So it's just something like that. You can kind of see the connection there. And so my last tip here is kind of just quick turnarounds on your quotes. Now, something I've been trying to do is 24-hour turnarounds on the quotes. I go look at your job on Friday night. Most times I try to get it to you that night or by Friday morning, right? Um, kind of something like that. At the very least, I don't like to go over 48 hours. I found that the quicker you get the bid in these people's hands, the most people aren't getting other bids, and sometimes when they do, a lot of times just the first person to answer them. I know in my market, a lot of people when I go and look at their jobs, they're like, I've had 5 other guys come out. We've gone through this whole process, accepted their quotes. They just ghost me, never show up, right? So it's extremely common. They just want someone to get in there, get it done. They're kind of sick of the process a lot of times, or a lot of times they just don't want to have to deal with 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. If you send the quote quick, you show up on time. You're obviously not trying to take advantage of them. You're going to get the job done. They're going to take your quote, get that fast turnaround. It's going to go a long ways. And yeah, that's gonna help a lot. Another thing, kind of just to tack onto that, is don't give in-person estimates, with the exception of if you know it's kind of more of a tire kicker and they're not exactly probably gonna pay what you're gonna quote, and you just know that you can, if you've been doing this long enough, you get a sense for like people's personalities and stuff. You can just tell when you show up to a job and you're like, this is kind of a waste of my time, kind of, and they're not going to pay the prices, right? They're kind of just looking for a chuck in a truck type deal. Then I will go ahead and give an in-person estimate. In most cases, they're like, "What? You're going to make that much an hour?" They don't realize that you have other business expenses, and you can never explain it to them. So just don't even bother. Just be like, "Yep, that's the price." Um, and if they don't want it, move on. So that's kind of 5 tips that I kind of hold to and have found that have worked pretty well. Like I said, a lot of them are common sense, but maybe this helps some of you guys out. I hope so. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.